Hello, I'm back, and welcome to Swarley's Ranting Reviews, Swarley's Sarcastic Syllabus, I don't know. But hey, we're doing the same thing as we did last time, and we're going over RWBY. This time we're only going to do the first couple of episodes. I know I did the whole thing last time, but I just seemed too big to do all at once. So we're going to tackle this in chunks. Let's get started.
There's a point where it tips, there's a point where it breaks, there's a point where it bends, and a point we just can't take anymore.
The new opening sequence is great, and the song is at par with the last one, but the energy has been upped to 11 on not just the song, but the visuals too. A few positional camera tricks added in for great reveals, and the pacing is just amazing. Everything has such a sense of speed, which is something I haven't seen in a computer animated film since Dash from The Incredibles. The falling sequence might seem a bit Kingdom Heartish when it's just RWBY falling from the sky, but then it reveals the rest of the characters and reminds you this is how they're deployed into action. And again, what I've said back before about the coloring aesthetic of these scenes, it's amazing. It's like almost watching a charcoal watercolor painting in action. I did things a little out of order. Actually, the opening sequence is revealed at the end of the episode, but hey, you'll be seeing it at the beginning of every other episode, and I wanted to tackle it first. So, scene start. We are introduced to Mercury and Emerald, and the first thing we learn about Emerald is she's a little thief. That poor old man can't catch a break. Last time, he gets his store robbed. This time, he falls off a ladder, and she steals his wallet. But hey, villains will be villains, and aside from that, I really like the chemistry between Emerald and Mercury. They just seem to play off each other really well.
Whatever. You want me.
Afterwards, they go into a bookstore after a White Fang runaway, I guess he is. And does he look a bit like Sabretooth? Blah, 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 school starting, blah, 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 best day ever. Food fight! Now, we have probably the most epic food fight in an animated show. Red swords, swordfish, sword leeks, and finally, the melons. I love Nora's melons. The way they bounce, the way they move, the way they... Jesus! Nora is a melon hammer killing machine.
I am Melon Lord!
And she switches from that to soda bombs? I love that we're seeing the characters using their semblance powers more, even just for a food fight. Vera going full Magneto, and RWBY turning into a combination of the Flash, Neo, and Vincent Valentine, ending the food fight with everyone looking like the Lost Boys from the movie Hook. In the end, Glenda Goodwitch comes in to break up the fight and clean things up in a slightly perturbed manner.
Children, please, do not play with your food.
Aw man, if that's slightly perturbed, I'd hate to see her when she's actually angry. Well, that was fun. But we gotta head back to the villains and see what they're up to. And you know what? They were having fun too. Well, you know, fun for us, not for them. I really have to say, best joke in Chapter 1 goes to Torchwick. Not just best joke, best lines and all.
Oh, look, she sent the kids again. This is turning out just like the divorce.
To Mercury and Emerald having that red versus blue banter.
Decided to take it upon ourselves to kill the rat.
I think he was some sort of cat, actually.
What, like a puma?
You mean like the shoe company? No, like a puma. It's a big cat.
And even Torchwick just being a sarcastic bastard.
Why wasn't this job done sooner?
And here I go again. God damn, I love this character. Torchwick's sarcasm and attitude can only be topped by one woman's sass and class. That's right, Cinder.
Oh, Roman, have a little faith. You'll know what you need when you need to know it.
Chapter the second starts us with a beautiful wide shot of the Ragnarok landing at Balam Garden. I mean, military vessels landing at Beacon Academy. Alright, put down the pitchforks, I'll stop. We get our first view of Professor Osborn's office, and god damn, look at that. The gears, the clock symbolism. It makes me almost wonder if Professor Osborn's semblance could be something clock related, like slowing down time or that. But right now, at this point, I just like the shadows and the gears. It just looks so beautiful. Now, we meet James Ironwood, General James Ironwood, and I can't wait to see this guy's giant axe. No, not like that, It's because he's probably based off the Tin's Woodman from Wizard of Oz. That's what I meant.
I'll be outside.
Two things I want to point out for this scene that really caught my eye. One, Ozpin doesn't even flinch when his friend pops out a flask of liqueur for his tea. And also, finger bending! Look, they even make a point of having a close-up shot, a specific shot, to show us that James is fully grasping the cup. You listened to me! You really listened! Well, maybe not directly to me. This is just another example of them upping the production quality. Holy crap, the gears are even in his desk. I want a desk like that. I'm gonna tell my boss right and I'm fired. Well, after a quick discussion about military tension in the area, we are brought back to the girls playing Risk? Yu-Gi-Oh?
But you just activated my trap card!
Card Wars?
I flooped the pig.
Joan, while he's supposed to be studying, is busy reading something that looks like a crossover of Invincible and X-Men. Hey, isn't that the same book that Mercury stole after they beat up Sabretooth?
I like the pictures.
And here, we are finally introduced formally to Neptune. Yes, we saw him during the food fight, but he wasn't formally introduced.
Shut up, don't be a nerd. Intellectual, okay? Thank you.
And wait, Neptune? Mercury? In the name of the moon? No, there's no real connection there. Well, emerald is a type of mineral that's from the beryl family. Queen Beryl, Mercury, Venus. No, they're missing planets. But more likely, Mercury and Neptune could be brothers of the same family, brothers from different mothers, because their names probably more come from deities more than they do the planets. Flashback! Back to the interrogation room where Ruby was once interrogated by Ozpin back in Season 1, and now Blake is being interrogated on the happenings of last season's season finale. And look, more pretty shadow shots, even in a room that's bare with just a table. It still looks very nice. Now, the conversation they have is actually quite interesting. Even though it's something that we know about, there's some very subtle undertones of classism, racism, and maybe even a bit of sexism.
Rich, poor, human, faunus.
The parallels drawn in this conversation to real-life issues is quite similar to how X-Men in the Marvel Universe draw the same parallels. Very well done, but not shoving it in our faces. I really do have to give the writing team props on this scene.
Why do you wear that bow, Blake? Why hide who you are?
You may be willing to accept the faunus, Professor Ozpin, but your species is not.
True.
After the flashback, we're back in the dormitories where Blake is continuing to be emo.
Stop.
Weiss confronts her on her emo-ness, and the girls all band together after a little bit of banter.
I love it when you're feisty.
To fight the White Fang and push back the darkness? No, I said that last time. But oh well, continuing on. Ruby remembers that she forgot her risk board back in the library. She rushes out and bang, runs right into Emerald and Mercury, obviously in those uniforms just to spy on Beacon Academy. But what? And how is Cinder getting away as pretending to be a student? She's obviously in her mid-20s, maybe even early 30s. What is this, 21 Jump Street? No. You can't just pull a Saved by the Bell or a 90210 and have this clearly adult woman pretending to be a teenager and everyone bat an eye. If there's one thing people in this show cannot stand, it's people pretending to be something that they're not. Blake. Don't get me wrong. I think I'm just more ticked off that none of the other students see through Cinder's disguise. I, on the other hand, think that older women in school uniforms are hot. What? Don't judge.
We should have never let him play.
Chapter the 3rd. We started this episode with Weiss doing almost what every student would do on a Friday, watching the clock to count down to the end of class. And Joan spends it The same way I've spent my entire life, striking out.
One day.
Oh, sweet! New battle uniforms! And then the RWBY cosplayers everywhere rejoiced.
And there was much rejoicing.
The new uniforms look pretty cool, still sticking to their individual themes and color schemes. Weiss kinda just looks like she just threw on a jacket, while Yang, who I think got the biggest overhaul, hers almost making her look like a bit like Miranda from Mass Effect.
Son, how did you get up there?
It's easy. I do it all the time.
You do what?
I climb trees all the time.
Oh son, you have a pervy gift but are too naive to realize it. And poor Neptune is always getting the raw end of Son's misadventures. I think I see a theme growing here.
Well, I guess Neptune could come with me.
Nah.
But...
Yep.
Atlas developed the cross-continental transmit system to allow the four kingdoms to communicate with one another.
I like this little informational tidbit. It shows how the people of this world communicate. Instead of using satellites, they use giant Uber cell towers to relay data. Maybe there's some reason they can't put satellites up in the sky. Oh look, Penny's back! Bye, Ruby!
Wait!
Weiss goes on ahead to make her call, and in the elevator...
Welcome to the CCT. How may I help you?
Sheila! Wait, who's Sheila?
Sheila's the lady in the tank. She was my friend.
Notice here in the elevator, Weiss is practicing to smile, and when she's on her call, she avoids her family at all costs. Take note, kids. This will be on the test later. Meanwhile, Penny has been dodging Ruby's questions about what transpired since their last encounter. Even as Penny pushes back against Ruby's questioning, Ruby does seem generally concerned, even for a friend she only just met. I think this really goes to show a lot about Ruby's character, and just how much friendship means to her. They go on talking about Penny's father when they stumble upon a presentation of new robot soldiers being given by none other by James Ironwood. Wait, robots defending the kingdom? We could see it in Ruby's face what she's thinking already.
They took our jobs!
Come on, having a robot army take over protecting people of the kingdom? How could that possibly go wrong? Uh-oh, looks like the man's after Penny. Ruby attempts some high-speed parkouring to get them away, but it seems Penny is too heavy for Ruby to carry, and they wipe out in front of a truck. Penny miraculously goes all Superman, stopping the truck and saving Ruby's life, and possibly giving an old man a heart attack. Aw man, him again? This poor guy needs a break. He needs to get out of the dust business, maybe into something a little bit safer.
My cabbages!
And it turns out, Penny has a secret.
I'm not a real girl. Oh.
What they can't do these days.
What a reaction from Ruby. It's half concerned, half still processing what she's seeing. That's it? I can't wait for the rest. I am legitimately pumped for more. The production value seems to have been brought up. The story is leaving me wanting more. What is the White Fang after? What is Cinder and her kids up to? Will Torchwick double-cross them all? And the whole thing with Penny. Then James Ironwood. He seems like the type of general to go overboard and just blow up a city, just as a preemptive strike. So many questions. And next Thursday can't come soon enough. If you're still here, thanks for watching. I'm hoping to do a new episode after about 3 or 4 more come out, and I'll continue doing this until the series is over. Until next time, good night everybody!